Hi, in this video, we will see if else condition in Java. Okay. So if else is a control statement in Java. When we want to execute a set of statements based on a particular condition, then we can use if else statement. Okay. When you want to execute some block of code on a particular condition, then only you can use if else. The condition which we gave is true, then it will execute if block. Otherwise, it will execute else block. Okay. So if the condition is true, some block will execute. If it is not, then if you have else in your code, then it will jump into the else block and will execute what is there inside the else block. So that is how it will execute. So we will see all these things in detail with the examples. So different types of if else statements. Simple if statement, there is no else. Nested if statement. Okay. All if conditions only, no else, but multiple ifs. If else statement, if else if statement. Okay, we will see all these four with the help of some examples. So if you see condition, you have a condition. If condition is true, then it will go and execute if code. If condition is false, if it jump into the else code and it will execute and come out of that. Okay. So check if I is positive or negative. Okay. I greater than 0. If I you have given positive number, if it is greater than 0, it will print positive number. Otherwise, it will jump into the else code and it will say negative number, something like this. Okay. So, but with the help of some programs, we will see. Let's jump into Visual Studio Code. I have written one simple class called simple if demo. Okay. So here, my scenario is student results I'm looking into. So my condition is if student gets more than 35 marks, more than or equal or greater than 35 marks, then that student is passed. Okay, that student is passed in the exam. Okay, for that, how you can write the condition? Okay, int student marks is equals to, I will say 30. Okay, 30. Now you can write how it will be if some condition. Okay, if condition, and inside that your block of code. Okay, this is how you need to write if this condition might be true or false. If this condition is true, then only it will go inside this block. What is there inside this curly braces? It will jump into this block of code and it will execute whatever there inside this. If it is false, even it will not even go into this, it will directly come out of this block. Means it will come out of this braces. Okay, it will not go inside this block. That's how it will work. So now student marks greater than 35. Okay, then what I need to do? System dot out dot println student pass in the exam. Okay, that's it. Outside, you can write whatever you want if you have anything to write. This is not necessary, but so I will say end of execution. Right, very simple program. What is there? Student marks greater than 35, then only I need to print student passed in the exam. Okay, so then my student marks are what? 30. 30 is greater than 35. No, 30 is not greater than 35, then it is false. If it is false, it will not go inside this and it will not execute this line. So directly come out of that and it will execute this one. Okay, when it is coming into the sequence, it came here. It found one condition. If condition is true, then it will go inside this. If it is false, it will come out of this and whatever it is there after that, it will try to execute. Okay, so then obviously end of execution. Then if I try to execute this, Java simple demo.java, you see that end of execution. The reason is student marks not greater than 35. Because of that, it never entered into this one. Okay. Now I will change my student marks to 40. Okay. Now it is 40. What happens here? 40 is greater than 35. Yes, 40 is greater than 35. So this condition is true. When this condition is true, it will go inside this block, and whatever it is there, it will try to execute. So if it comes into this, now it will print student passed in the exam. Then it will come out of that, and again it will print this one. So now this time it will print both the statements. You see that student passed in the exam, end of execution, right? So this is how if condition will work. If the condition is true, it will go inside this. Otherwise, it will not go inside this. This is how, means according to some block of code, means some condition, I'm able to execute. Otherwise, I'm able to skip this line in my sequence order, right? That's how we are saying this is control statements. So now we'll see if else. Okay. Now we'll see if else. So I have a if else demo. Here also same thing, student results. Now here, if student gets more than 35 marks, he is passed. But what if he did not get 35 marks? What I need to say? In the previous example, we are just seeing that, and we are not talking about what happens if it is less than 35. But here, both the conditions. If it is greater than 35, what I need to execute? If it is less than 35, what I need to say? What I need to execute, right? So that's how it will be. So now, int student marks is equals to 30, something like that. Now, if student marks greater than 35, now I'll try to print from here, copy paste now. So student passed in the exam, but else if it is not happened, means it did not get the marks, what should, means 35, right? Then student, I need to say student failed in the exam. I am explicitly saying that student failed in the exam. In the previous, I'm not bothering about remaining things. I'm just checking if marks greater than 35, I'm saying student is passed. But what if it is not that marks? So I'm not talking about here. If you have that condition also to mention here, that time you can use else. If this is true, you execute this block of code. If it is false, then execute else block of code. Okay. So according to my marks, I got 30. 30 greater than 35. No, it is false. If it is false, now it will not go inside this block. It will go else block. If it is false, then it will go else block. It will say student failed in the exam. So let me try to execute this. Java if else demo.java. You see that student failed in the exam. Now I'll make it this marks to 50. Okay, 50 greater than 35. Yes, 50 is greater than 35. So student passed. You see, student passed in the exam. Now I'm skipping this else block. Previously, I'm skipping if block, but normally sequence of execution. But here I'm skipping some block of code according to this statement, means this condition, right? So that's how it will work. Now, what is if else if, right? If else if. So in the if else if, there are more conditions for me. In the previous condition, if it is greater than 35, pass. Less than 35, fail. But here more deep into the results. If student gets more than 90 marks, he passed in first class. If he gets in between 60 to 90, he passed with second class. If it is greater than 35 and less than 60, and between 35 to 60, means in between 35 to 60, then third class. If it is less than 35, fail. I want to write a logic for all these conditions. Okay. So now int student marks is equals to, let's say 30. Okay. Initially, if student marks greater than what, 90, student marks greater than 90. So let me copy this. What I need to say, student passed with first class. Okay. So again, I need to check another condition. Condition means you should have a if block. In the if only you will write the condition, right? Else you will not have any condition. Else means else, that's it. So, but I have multiple conditions, that then you need to write else if, means if it's not the case, come to this one, else if student marks greater than 60 and student marks less than 90. Right. So if it is two ends, means both conditions should satisfy, then only it will go inside this. Okay. Student passed with second class. Right. Again, I have one more condition. Else if student marks greater than 35 and student marks less than 60. With this condition, student passed with third class. So I can say third class. If any one of these conditions is not satisfied, then last is else. Then what is that? Student failed. Okay. Then you can say student failed in the exam. Right. So this is how you need to write if, else, if. So you have multiple conditions to check. If it is greater than 90, go inside this. If it is not that, don't go inside that. Come here and check this condition. If this both conditions satisfy, go inside this. Otherwise, come here. Compare here. If both are true, then go inside this. If any one of the conditions are not satisfied, then else block. Right. So my marks are 30. 30 is greater than 90? No. So don't go inside this. Go to the next statement. Here, 30 greater than 60? No. No need to go to here also. Right. If both true, then only it will go inside this. First condition itself, it failed. I don't bother about the second condition, whether pass or fail. Student mark greater than 60, 30 greater than 60? No. Don't go inside this. Then come here. Student marks greater than 35, 30 greater than 35? No. Then what happens? It will not go inside this. So if any one of these conditions not true, what I'm saying, else block will execute last. So student failed in the exam. Okay, student failed in the exam. So now I try to do this, execute this. Sorry. So student, so I missed the semicolon. Student failed in the exam. 30 means student failed in the exam. Now I'll try to take 95 marks. So first condition itself satisfies 95 greater than 90. So student passed with first class, I should get. You see that student passed with first class. Now I'll give in between this greater than 60, less than. So I'll give 80. So 80 is not greater than 90. So it will come here. 80 greater than 60, yes. And 80 less than 90, yes. Both are true. Go inside this. Student passed with second class. You see, student passed with second class. Now give another thing. I'll give 40. 40 means 40 is not greater than 90. No, don't go inside this. 40 not greater than 60. Don't go inside this. 40 greater than 35. Yes. Yes, yes. Then go to next condition. 40 less than 60. Yes. Both are true. Then go inside this. So student passed with what? Third class. You see that? Third class. Right. We have checked all the conditions. So this is how if else if will work. If you have these kind of conditions to check. Okay. So we'll go to the nested if demo. Okay. In the nested if demo, if true, then go inside this. Again, if true, then go again inside. If false, don't go this inside this. Something like that. If inside another if. Okay, this is how. Let's take an example, hypothetical example. I'm not sure how to explain this. So I took some string s is equals to Bahubali is a Telugu movie. Okay, I have written one string Bahubali is a Telugu movie. So now I'll try to check what is that condition. If everything is true, all the condition is true, I need to print was system.out.println. Prabhas is the lead role in that movie. So for that I have few conditions. What are those conditions? It should be a movie first, and it should be a Telugu movie. Then the name should be, movie name should be Bahubali. Okay. So now I'll check here the condition is true. Yes dot contains. Okay. Yes dot contains what? Movie. If it is a movie, then go inside this. Then again you verify other condition. If it is contains Telugu, means it is a Telugu movie. Okay. Then go inside this. If both conditions are satisfied, it went into the deeper of that if statements. If again, yes contains Bahubali, then Prabhas is the lead role in that movie. I need to, for this, I need to satisfy these many. If it is not movie, then why to go inside this? No need. You can fail itself. It means you come out of this here itself. Okay, it is true. Go inside this. If the movie is Telugu, then go inside. If it is not Telugu, then no need to go inside this. It is also true. Then go inside that. If it is contains Bahubali, then only go inside this. If it is not Bahubali, some other movie name, then I don't want to go inside this. It might be a movie, it might be a Telugu movie, but it is not this movie, then no, don't go inside this. So if any one of these conditions not satisfied, then system.out.println, I can say it is not the movie which we required, something like that. Okay. So now if I try to execute this, I have all the conditions satisfying. What happened? Nested demo. Nested demo. Could not find. I did a small mistake. The file name and class name both are not same. So there is a typo. Because of that, it's saying, now if you see Prabhas is the lead role in that movie. After come out of that, it should not be here actually. Okay. So otherwise, let it comment. Okay. So then it will go. If anything is changing, I can say ABC is a Telugu movie. If I say something like this, nothing will print out. Right? Nothing is there to print. It is a movie. It is a Telugu movie, but it is not Bahubali. So it will not go inside this. It is not printing anything. There is nothing to print. Otherwise, you can write else condition and you can say, if it is everything is not satisfying, then you can put this one. Right. Now, if you try to print this, you will get what? This is not the movie which you are looking for. What happened? If it false, sorry, contains movie, then it will come here. This is for this only. Okay. So you can put here. You need to write different else conditions for each if condition if you want. Otherwise, I'll remove this. So don't bother about these things. So if it is not matching, then it will not print anything. If it is matching, it will go inside this one. But here the intention is you can write how many ifs inside another if. It is a if condition. Inside that another if condition. Inside that another. This is called nested if. Okay. That's how you can write the nested if. So these are all about if else conditions. Okay. So then what could be the possible interview questions here? What is if else statement? What is nested if statement? What is if else if statement? Something like that you might face. Otherwise, they'll ask what is control statements in Java. Okay. So that's all in this video. Thank you.